Hey, welcome back to this one. So in the previous one, we were, essentially looking at how to aggregate data. Right? So we aggregate to the highest level. And then, in this particular last query that we wrote, we kind of, did a sum of values, average of values, and count of all the rows from a data set where this year, and then where we sort of limit on this year, and then we limit just 50 rows. Of course, we're not interested in this 50 rows because it only brings out one row. Now, there's a better way to essentially do this if we were going to count on a group. Now, what is a group by? And this is where we come to our group by. So before now, we did the select from where not having it, but order by limit. We've done this. So we essentially left with join group by and then union and have it. But now we will be going to group by. Now, group by is one very interesting way besides used to aggregate data. It's usually used when you want to aggregate data. It's specific to aggregate data, right? And so what do you do? So when you want to count, assuming you have a basket full of oranges and mangoes, and you are supposed to count the number of mangoes and then the number of oranges. A very smart approach will be first to group the mangoes and the oranges into different groups, essentially put them into different groups, and then you do a count. And so in the very same way, when you are supposed to count, when you're supposed to make a count into different groups, then you use the group by. This is the idea of the group by. So if you have a class of boys and girls and you want to know total number of boys and the total number of girls, then you will group by this gender. This will be a case. However, if you're not interested in gender, count, you just interested in the total number, then you could just go straight away and write a query like this. However, like I've said, if you're interested to split the data based on the gender, then you would have to group by. And this is just the idea that since we are maybe interested in knowing what is the count per year, we could just go ahead and group by here, right? But then you would notice something. So when we run this code, what happens is we get a lot of counts. We get a lot of sum of values, average of values, and the counts. However, we don't know. We know that based on the query that we're grouping by year, but we don't know, what each year. I mean, of course, we know this represents different years, but we don't know which is what. And this is because we haven't told select to show us the year. We're only told select to show us the sum of values, the average of values, and the count of values. But we never told select to show us the year until now we have the include here. Select has to show us the year. So now you don't just get the count or the averages of the, and then now you sort of get the actual year this sum of values and counts sort of corresponds to. Right? So one other way you can do this sorting is to order by one, right? So you can order by one. So you start, you have the year, sum, and average, and then you order by one, right? So like what I've said, or maybe a better way is to order by year. I will come back to this point. Now, when we run this, what happens is we are able to say, okay, don't just count and, don't just count into groups, also order the groups in the year. So this is the idea, the order by that we have, included in this query. It's just the idea of like, to have it sorted. The most important takeaways here is that if you're interested, right, maybe you were interested in the group by month, then this could be the count by month, and this could be to be a function of the month. right? Of course, you cannot sort by a column that is not included in your query. So now here you can get the months. So it seems like you have December, right, in the whole data set. So somehow the income is maybe being generated at the end of the year. So somehow, of course, if we would be maybe, let's see, I think the year is just a good picture actually. The year is like a perfect picture. But generally, this is what the group by is. You use the group by to state, okay, this is what we want, and this is how we want it. So we could maybe get another example, because I think this is we try out a couple of cases. Of course, one example could be, let's give let's see, maybe the appraisal time series. Say we put FA appraisal series. And then now just stop. And then we put this here. And then we run our queries. And then now what we happen? Actually, this is not a good approach, because we should be limiting our queries so we don't have to wait a long time to get queries back. Right? Scanning the whole table is not really useful. So now, maybe now what we are more interested is, say we want to see what is the sum for the suppressed group that is true, and then the sum for the suppressed group that is false. So here we are grouping by the suppressed, right? So we want to print out suppressed, and then we are summing by the value, right? And so when we group by here, once again, we use the 1. This is just a shortcut, actually. So now you notice that for true, there is nothing here. And for false, there seems to be something here. I think there is a little problem here, because when you add a null, then you sort of get this thing with, when you add a null, you sort of get this thing where everything just goes to null. So it seems like, oh, there's actually nothing in the true. So this is the idea of group by. You use group by to groups, and then do aggregation based on the fact that you're into groups. That's the point. So in the next one, we would essentially look at how to join. Finally, we seem to be coming close. Oh, I think maybe we should first learn how to apply the having, because having comes with group by. So we look at having, and afterwards we look at join, and then we look at union, and then we're done with this line, and then we can move on to some more interesting things. Get up to the next one. Thank you.